So the gambling clinic began in the late 90s. It actually, at the time, I was running our department's community-facing mental health clinic. A gentleman presenting with depression came in the clinic, and after that first session, the therapist came into my office and said, "Do you have any resources related to a gambling problem?" So it seemed as, although this gentleman presented with depression, both the highs and the lows of his day, his week, his year, all centered on his gambling. The truth of the matter is, I didn't know anything about how to treat gambling. And so with a colleague of mine, Andy Myers, and this graduate student and another, we sat down and we tried to take a look at the literature. And we were struck with the real absence of guidance about where to go or how to move forward in treating this individual. I think we at the time when we were looking at it, for every paper published on gambling problems, there were almost 1,000 papers published on alcohol use problems, showing that our knowledge was really lacking. And so that's how we began the clinic, treating that one individual, borrowing, questioning, wondering, trying things out. That gentleman, we treated him with an emphasis on helping him control his gambling. And it was pretty successful. And we learned a lot from him in that process. We then, as a team, started to wonder what else we might learn by working with other people. And that's when we both started the clinic. But at the same time, we started the Tennessee Institute for Gambling Education and Research. The way I think about this is sort of like a restaurant. Most of us walk into a restaurant and we sit at tables and food's prepared and it appears and we consume it. But the critical work that's happening is really what's not visible to us. It's what's behind going on in the kitchen. And so we think about the Tennessee Institute, which we affectionately refer to as Tiger, as the kitchen. It's the back where the action's happening, where the soup's being made, where the desserts are built. It's how we figure out what do we present to those people who come in the door and ask us for some assistance. The gambling clinic's really is like the dining room. It's where people who are having problems, questions, wanting assistance in some manner come, and we try to help them. Like any endeavor, you need to have some backing and support to make things happen. Doing quality research, offering services to individuals really begins by building something that can be sustainable. When we first started the gambling clinic, we were fortunate to get funding from some local and regional foundations who thought that gambling and gambling problems was important to address. And then we turned to see if we can get federal funding to help really facilitate getting answers to the questions we thought were critical. Fortunately, the lottery bill was passing in Tennessee, and that began a relationship with the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. The bill that created the Tennessee education lottery, included putting aside a small amount of money for gambling treatment. And at that time, in 2005, 2006, we started to work with the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services saying, well, give us some of those resources and we're going to return just not treating people, but we're also going to enhance the knowledge of what needs to be done in this area. And that was the beginning of this journey that has grown over the years, most substantively when the sports wagering bill was passed in Tennessee, so that the monies that were coming from the state revenue were provided to the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services. And then we partnered with them to find ways of offering treatment services to those across the state of Tennessee with 3 outpatient clinics where we do both in-person as well as telehealth treatment. But in addition, to begin to develop prevention programs so that people don't get to the point of needing to be in treatment. We're here for anybody. If you've got concerns, you got a problem, even if you got an inkling of like, do I have a problem? Reach out to us. If you're a significant other worried about how to talk to somebody, how to reach out, what do I do? What resources are there? Give us a call. If you're a service provider, a journalist, somebody who feels a need to know better and inform the people that they work with, we're here for you. And we'll try to answer your questions, and we'll try to do it with integrity and leave the conversation all in a better place.